Dr. Roger Elmer, Advanced Neurospinal Solutions. This is Ask the Doctor, and the question is about Parkinson's disease. Now, Parkinsonians is a group of those kinds of disorders and diseases, which we're not going to get into at this time, but the Parkinson's disease is a well-known issue relating to the frontal lobe movement system and the brainstem. The brainstem and the basal ganglia are highly impacted. The thing that's not very well understood is that it is a frontal lobe disorder with a brainstem issue along with it. The effects of that is going to have an impact on thinking, besides the movement patterns that they have, difficulty engaging, because it's what we call a hypokinetic disorder. So I have trouble engaging movement. I don't have an on button. I have a lot of off button, but no on button. And so when I go to step, I can't make myself step. Once I step, I can go, but I can't engage. Well, it does the same thing with thinking processes. It does the same thing with vocalization. We don't tend to think of speech and vocalization as being a movement, but it is. It's a movement pattern, and that movement pattern gets affected, and they start to get hoarse. It becomes more difficult, more spastic, less ability to actually function speech. And speech and walking are the two most difficult things we do neurologically. And so Parkinson's is that kind of issue. The major issue is the inability of the brainstem to make dopamine. And dopamine turns on the on button and turns off the off button. So you can imagine what kind of an impact that has. It puts on the gas, and it takes off the foot of the brake and puts the foot on the gas. So when you don't have dopamine, you can't do that. And so your brake is always on. And so that's the kind of effect. Now, the thing that's interesting is it comes usually, one of the first things you notice is indigestion, and then erectile dysfunction. And then you'll start to have maybe some heart issues, but usually you don't even know you're getting heart problems because the synuclear proteins are engaging into the nervous system of the heart. Then you'll start to lose your sense of smell. After you've lost that sense of smell, you may notice that your thinking is slowed and your speech is slowed, and maybe it's becoming a little more monotone and more difficult. Then you'll start to have that pill roll and tremor, which we talk about. But all of that takes place in that kind of order and sequence, and so catching it early is so helpful. When we wait till stage 7, which is the end, right? When we wait till 6, there are only certain things that I'm able to do in helping somebody. But if we catch it at 2 or 3 or even 4, there's a whole lot of things that we can do that are going to slow and even stall that process and avoid things like free radical damage and misfolding. And so that's the kind of thing that we do here at Advanced Neurospinal Solutions. Hope that answers your questions. If you have any more questions, please contact Renee and let her know. And at Advanced Neurospinal Solutions, we're here when you're ready to take your life back.